What's good, YouTube? I want to talk today pre-sale prices and what I think about them and kind of go over the history of pre-sale prices and what they mean to Yu-Gi-Oh! So, Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. It's no secret it's been at an $80 price here for a bit, and its sales are much slower and perhaps surprisingly so than Dragonic Diagram, which Troll is listed at $90. I was actually contacted by one of their employees and he told me we've sold out of so many at 80 that we actually had to bump it to 90 because we are just selling out like hotcakes. And this actually concerns me on this card because it makes me wonder how the quantities are going to go post sneak peek heading in towards Pittsburgh, because I actually am interested in going to Pittsburgh and playing the deck potentially. But, something else to note, the other biggest pre-saler, Ideal 808, known very, very much so for their pre-sales, has it at $90 also. You can get it for a low of $80, and this guy is selling a ton at 80. I hope he can get as many and pull as many as he is selling. But there are so many that just quickly spike up through here. But I wonder how they're going to get listed post sneak peek, because we go through the history of sneak peeks and we have Ash here lowest at 80 as well, with only that one listing, surprisingly so, for English. And we go through the history of sneak peeks, and the most recent one that was similar to the sneak peek was Bosch, one of the most hyped sets of all time. Bosch was insanely hyped. I can't emphasize how hyped Full Power Pepe is, and now I guess True Dracos are getting that level of hype. It's really insane. And with Perform Pal Pendulum Sorcerer and Solemn Strike, if you were at the sneak peek, you had to get either of them for about that price. And Infinity wasn't cheap by any means either. Infinity was up there even as a one-of, if I recall. We were able to trade for them around 50s, but you needed Infinity because of Ptolemaeus. Oh man, this is on Bosch levels. That's what's crazy to me, because we have 2 secrets per pack and we're hitting an $80 card into Dragonic Diagram and Ghost Session. Dragonic is starting to head up before we get any of the pieces. I personally am going to hold off. I personally am going to wait a couple of weeks if I can and see if I can get them. Another problem again with buying online instead of going to your sneak peek is you would never know if they are Europrint. You don't have to worry about that with Troll and Toad. You're going to get English print with Troll and Toad. But with eBay, if you're not going from a known seller like Ideal 808, you have to be scared. Like, look how dark this diagram is. Could it be? Could it not be? I would be scared. You know, I don't know what they look like yet. So that's one problem with buying online now. A lot of people still try to argue the Europrint problem with me. Go to a YCS with Europrint cards that are post, I guess, I think the problem started near D-Rev. Try Fusion Enforcers cards. Try those kinds of cards. See what happens. It's usually very bad, and you can try to even them out, but they'll curve during the tournament. Is the crazy thing. They curve when you play with them, no matter how much I straighten them out. Like I got pulled behind the curtains at Atlanta for a barrage, and that's the first time I've been pulled behind the curtain ever in my 14-15 years of playing Yu-Gi-Oh. That was insane. So, we go back through more of the history, of sneak peek prices. Desires, it's actually around its sneak peek price of 40. You know, since we've started having 2 secrets, it's been towards this, the price of 40s, 50s, and so on. Like, I believe you could have gotten D barriers around 40s to 50s as well, if I recall, because everybody freaked out when it went up to 50. So I'm pretty sure it was 40 towards its sneak peek price. But we head into NECH, and remember the $60 pair? Virgil and Disc were pretty easy 60s. I remember I actually got a few of them. I used to write articles for Hot Sauce, and I would used to get product for my payments. And I remember getting rid of my Disc and Virgils very fast around that price. It's just kind of like, these were support for decks that were already established in the metagame that powered up decks that were already there and took them to another level. But they quickly tanked. I remember, oh man, how quick these cards tanked. It was crazy. And Ghost Ogre, I remember her coming out at around 60, I believe. And she went down fairly fast as well, but I think that was because of Gold Series. She got a very quick reprint, if I recall. I don't think she went down, I don't think she really had a natural time to go down, if I recall. It's just these crazy sets. Or this was, NECH was pretty mild actually, but these crazy sets like Bosch and Maximum Crisis get so much hype, but nothing compares all the way back in the day. I was gonna say, you would think it's inflation, but it's not really inflation. The price of Yu-Gi-Oh product isn't rising rapidly or anything. Dark Armed Dragon. Remember him? $120 into 300. At least we're not there yet. At least we're not headed all the way back to the Dark Ages. But this is pretty insane. And my own personal advice for this sneak peek, if you're going, don't pay for super rares besides potentially True King of All Calamities. I actually don't know the True King's All Calamities price on here. I wanted to scroll down and react with you guys, so I guess it's on page 2. So, I wanted to look at the True King of All Calamities with you guys, and it's pre-selling on Troll for $7 for a super rare. You only need 2 of them, so I would probably chill on that. And let's go ahead into our Solemn Strike bar and look it up. The Oricas. True King of All Calamities. I think I spelled it right. Calamities. Know what I mean? And we see he's pre-selling for $3 on eBay. So a little bit expensive, Troll, but they probably check their prices here and there. So, ooh, a little bit high. But like I said, these kinds of prices cool off very fast. So I would just go ahead and hold off. Let's see if I deal 808s anywhere in here. Nope. I don't see an ideal 808 listing. Interesting. These are the kinds of cards I hold off on, though. Although 3 is not terrible, these are the kinds of things that I think you can pick up later. There's going to be a rush of them, and just like Lithosagem, it's going to start off low and then spike high, I would think, if it goes any higher. So this is kind of a 2 of super rare, not a 3 of super rare, so quantity should overrush it. I just think paying sneak peek prices typically is not the best of ideas. But if I was picking up any super, it would be that for $3. The Subterror Fiendus is a super rare that they're also putting at 7. It just seems like anything hype they're putting up here on Troll and Toad. So the only things that I would probably consider would be Ghost Ash if I were buying from them. But again, I personally would hold off because I think it's kind of like Reaper. It has its initial rush of hype. Then everybody who has theirs kind of goes, maybe I'm only playing 2, maybe I'm playing 3. It's an amazing card. It's one of the best hand traps of all time. But with 2 secrets per pack, I think we'll see it cool off a little bit. Masterpiece, also at 40. Let's check out Masterpiece while we're at it. Masterpiece. That is not what I expected. Masterpiece, the true. Draco Slay. Is it Slaying? Slaying, yep. This is one I forgot to look up. I heard it started out at 30 and yeah, 38 here versus $39.99. Not a terrible price by Troll, as there's only 1 seller below them on all of eBay. Ideal 808's actually more expensive than them. So this is just a kind of thing when you're shopping around and thinking, what am I going to do and how do I get it at my sneak peek? I know a lot of you guys want to have it in your hand now. And sometimes cash isn't an objective. You just feel good to have the deck together. If you get it together fast, some of you all in California and Texas have case tournaments you can actually participate in. So it's actually worth paying that extra price to get the deck together, because you're going to be able to actually smack some people around for some cold hard cash in terms of being able to get an entire case and get your money back on your deck. I just don't know this time, because Zoo is here, right? And you have Leica as an ultra rare, which should be rather accessible compared to the other Zodiac ultra rares. So I feel like if you're going for a case tournament, maybe just playing Zoo would be the best option, as it's arguably the best deck. True Draco, True King Dinosaurs, and Zodiacs are probably the best 3 decks. And you could just play Zoos for your case tournament if you wanted to, and heavily prepare for Masterpiece and Dinosaur decks. If you were going into that. These are just my sneak peek advices and advice for situations and comparing the past history of sneak peeks, though. Thanks for watching. Give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed this kind of discussion. I've avoided talking about sneak peek prices up till now because I really don't like to endorse them in any way, shape, or form. I personally, every time I go to a sneak peek, anything I get in trades, I try to trade there because it's hyped to a point that I think it shouldn't be. But sometimes you do have something that's underhyped, like Pot of Desires, that's just going to impact a meta. I remember Tour Guide, I think, came out at $30 to $40. And remember that one? So people kind of look for that sort of card in a set. But this time, we're starting off with the 80s, just like Bosch. Just like Strike and Wizard. We have Ash, and we have Gigantic Diagram, but I think I'm going to be fine getting mine. I just have to wait, and I think it'll cool off a little bit. Thanks for watching, guys.